Colorado High School Activities Association Baseball is on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. From Brush, Colorado, the Brush Beat Diggers face the Valley Vikings this afternoon. Good afternoon, I'm Kevin Fergus, and we'll have game starting here just shortly. What I can do right now is I can go through the starting lineup. Starting lineup for your Brush Beat Diggers is brought to you by Equitable Savings and Loan. Borrow your money and do your banking with people you know and people you know who know you. Stop by one of their 10 locations across the plains or visit equitable-savings.com. Starting lineup for your Brush Beat Diggers today as we have the inaugural game of this 2025 season. Percy Odell will lead off. He'll be at shortstop. Landon Mesh will be at second base, hitting second. Ben Metlin will hit third and play third base. Trey Romero will be the first baseman, hit cleanup. Caleb Jimenez will be the right fielder, hitting fifth. Keaton Gillick will be on the hill today for your Brush Beat Diggers, and he'll be hitting sixth. Dylan Krob in center field and hits seventh. River Hodgson will be in the eighth spot, and he's be playing in left field. And Eli Klein will be behind the plate. That's your starting lineup for your Brush Beat Diggers. We'll go through positions on the field. Left to right, River Hodgson in left, Dylan Krob in center, Caleb Jimenez in right, Ben Metlin at third, Percy Odell at shortstop, Landon Mesh at second, and Trey Romero at first. Eli Klein is behind the plate, and Keaton Gillick Jr. is on the hill. We'll have our first pitch shortly. Keaton takes his last warm-up, and Eli will send it down to second base. First pitch is brought to you by Bailey Mechanical. When your temperature is not quite right, call your local Lennox dealer, Bailey Mechanical, 970-522-0471. Our umpire crew, a veteran crew today, Perry Lewis behind the plate, Norm Johnson on the bases. Valley Vikings come into this game, this being their first game of the season as well. So both teams' record is 0-0. Keaton Gillick with the first pitch. Gets a sign from Klein, and the first pitch fouled off to the screen in the back. Andrew Rinkin comes to the plate for Valley. Takes a swing at that pitch and hits it down the right field line foul. Lineup for Valley. Andrew Rinkin will lead off. Senior shortstop Trent Mestis will hit second and play second base. The 0-2 pitch from Keaton Gillick. Curveball hit out to left center field. And Dylan Krob settles underneath it in left center field, right at the warning track, calls it in for the first out. Rinkin swung at all three pitches. And fouled off the first two and flied out the third one. Gillick pitch is high, but Trent Mestis takes a check swing, strike one. Gillick gets a sign from Eli Klein, his battery mate. The pitch upstairs. Ball one. One ball, one strike. Pitch, curveball, fouled off. One ball and two strikes to Trent Mestis, the second baseman for the Valley Vikings, hitting number 2 in the lineup today. Alfonso Medina will be the on-deck circle. And that pitch swung on and missed by Mestis for the first strikeout of the season by Keaton Gillick. 2 down in the inning. Top of the first, no score. Steve Kistler, the coach for Valley Vikings, he's been a long time at the head of the Vikings. The pitch from Jillick, strike at the knees. Tom Odell, coach for the Brush Beet Diggers since 2019. The pitch from Jillick, the 0-1, and that pitch just low and away. Evens a count at 1. Brush playing just even on the bases and straight away, left, center, and right. A little bit of a win today for that pitch. Low and inside, 2 balls and a strike. Game time temperature, 69 degrees. There's a little bit of a breeze from left field to right field. If I'm the right fielder, I'm going to take just a step or 2 back. That pitch, low and inside, 3 balls and a strike to Alfonso Medina. Anthony Solis is on deck, and Seth Kistler in the hole. 3 balls and a strike. There's 2 outs here in this scoreless game. And that pitch on the inside corner, strike, brings the count full for Keaton Jillick. Brush Beet Diggers, 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. Jillick the sign, the pitch, the offering, and strike 3. Inside corner of the plate. Jillick has 2 strikeouts in the inning. For the Valley Vikings, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. Brush Beet Diggers will be coming to the plate. You're listening to Beet Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Brush Beet Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. We go to the bottom of the first inning, March 11th. An early game on the season as Valley and Brush hook up this afternoon in Brush, Colorado. For the Valley Vikings, Anthony Solis, the senior, is on the hill. Caleb Dudley, a junior, will be behind the plate. And we'll go left to right around the infield. Ivan Saenz, the junior, at third base. Andrew Rinkin, the senior, at shortstop. Trent Mestis at second base. And Seth Kistler at first base. In the outfield, Brody Loveland will be in left. Alfonso Medina in center. And Dominic Rodriguez is in right. For your Brush Beet Diggers, Percy Odell will lead off. Landon Mesh will be on deck. And Ben Metlin will be in the hole. Mestis takes his last, Solis takes his last warm-up toss. And Dudley throws down to Andrew Rinkin. And Brush Beet Digger Baseball will be coming right up. We'll see how Brush Beet Diggers do. Today is an easy game for me because I didn't have to do too much research. Everybody has no hits, there's no earned run average, and there's no batting average, there's no fielding percentage or anything. It's a blank page, and what these guys need to do is author their season right here and right on there. First pitch is upstairs to Percy Odell, ball 1. Solis gets a sign from Dudley. The pitch is low and in the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes to Percy Odell. Percy, second team All-State last year. Pitch from Solis, low and inside. 3 balls, no strikes to the senior Percy Odell. Pitch inside, corner, a strike at the knees. 3 balls and a strike. Solis gets the sign, the pitch, and Odell hits out towards right field. The right fielder goes back about 3 steps and hauls it in for the first out for the Valley Vikings on this 2025 season. Percy Odell will take a seat in the dugout. Landon Mesh comes and hits from the left side. Pitch, and that is fouled back into the screen. Ben Metlin is on deck. Trey Romero in the hole. Pitch from Solis, curveball, and that ball hit out towards the second baseman. line drive, out. Two up, two down. Metland comes to the plate, number 9 on his back. The Brush Beet Diggers wearing their maroon uniforms with the marigold and socks, belt, numbers, and letters. This is Diggers across the back. First pitch swung at in the dirt by Metland. Down on the count, no balls and a strike. Pitch hit out to second baseman, one hop. Second baseman Mestis over to Kistler at first, 4-3 on the putout for your Brush Beet Diggers. Bottom of the first inning, no runs, no hits, no errors. There was nobody left on base. After one complete inning of play, it is Brush Beet Diggers 0, Valley Vikings 0. You're listening to Beet Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Brush Beet Digger Baseball, Brush 0, Valley Vikings 0. For the Valley Vikings, Anthony Solis comes to the plate. Seth Kistler on deck, Caleb Dudley in the hole. Keaton Gillick on the hill, 2 strikeouts in the top of the first inning. No hits on the day as both teams were 3 up and 3 down in the top in the first inning, pitched by Gillick. A strike swung at and off of Klein's glove and to the fence in the back. Solis, senior, digs in. Valley Vikings with white pants, black shirts, gold lettering, numbers. And that ball hit down the right field line, and that is clearly foul. So Gillick ahead in the count, no balls and 2 strikes to the number 4 hitter. Anthony Solis wears number 21 on his back. Seth Kistler on deck. Gillick with the sign, the pitch, upstairs. Ball 1, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Not 100% blue sky. There's slight cloud cover today. The pitch from Gillick swung on and missed. Strikeout number 3 by Gillick. Seth Kistler will come to the plate. Gillick mixing it up, changing speeds, changing eye locations well. Here in the top of the second inning, no runs for the Valley Vikings, no runs for your Beet Diggers. Kistler, the pitch upstairs to Seth Kistler, the coach's son, junior. Gillick, the sign from Klein, the pitch, curveball upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes to Kistler. Kistler is a big, lanky guy, probably about 6'2", 6'3". Gillick, the 2-0 pitch, and that pitch is inside. 3 balls, no strikes to Seth Kistler, the first baseman for the Valley Vikings. Klein sets up the pitch. Ball 4. First base runner for the Valley Vikings today for either team. As Kistler trots down to first base, I don't think Kistler is going to be a threat to steal. Takes a 3-step lead. Great, 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 great. And that pitch, a strike. I missed the first pitch. It was a ball. I lost everything on my phone as I switched phones in the off season, and apparently I set everything up and I got coach pitch. So after the ball 4, Seth Kistler goes to first, and he's on at first. The pickoff from Gillick over to Trey Romero, and Kistler back in. Now I've got coach pitch, and I can't get out of that. So if John Beltran, you're listening via the Internet, text me what I need to do in order to be able to fix that. The batter is Caleb Dudley. The 1-1 pitch is upstairs, 2 balls and a strike. The 2-1 swung at and missed by Dudley. Evens account, 2 balls, 2 strikes. There's 1 out. Kistler on at first for the Valley Vikings. Two-two offering from Jillick. Swung at and missed. Strikeout number 4 for Keaton Jillick. I'll see if I can fix this coach pitch and get that out of here in between innings. Coming to the plate is Carson Adolph, senior. Kistler 3-step lead at first. Jillick gives him an eye. Takes the stretch, the pitch, and that pitch is upstairs to Carson Adolph. I have to concentrate now because my whole batting lineup is off. The 1-0 swung at and fouled back and over the fence. Evens account, 1 ball, 1 strike. Jillick and Klein over to Romero on the pickoff, and Kistler just gets back. Jillick and Klein working together. The pitch fouled back to the screen. Count, 1 ball, 2 strikes to Carson Adolph. 2 outs in the inning. Jillick with 4 strikeouts on the day. Here we are, top of the 2nd inning. Jillick, the pitch, curveball, ball hit back to Jillick, takes 2 steps over to first base Romero. 1-3 on the putout. So after 1.5 innings of play, Valley, no runs, no hits, no errors. Brush Beet Diggers had 1 runner left on base. After 1.5, Valley 0, Brush 0. You're listening to Beet Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Brush Beet Digger Baseball, 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. We are back to the bottom of the 2nd inning. And Caleb Jimenez comes to the plate, hits the 2nd pitch that he sees from Solis, and he hits, I'm sorry, that's Trey Romero. Trey Romero hits the ball to the shortstop, and the ball got away from Kistler at first. So via an error by the shortstop on the throw from Andrew Rinkin, Trey Romero is on at first. Caleb Jimenez comes to the plate. I'm going to have to change things up. I'm totally stymied by my phone. Romero with a 4-step lead. The pitch outside. 1 ball, no strikes to Caleb Jimenez, the right fielder for your Brush Beet Diggers. The pitch, that upstairs, 1 ball, 2 balls, no strikes to Caleb Jimenez. Trey Romero leads off at first via the error. Valley had 1 runner left on base. Brush has a runner on. That ball gets away from Dudley, and Romero down to second base on the pass ball by the catcher. 3 balls, no strikes to Caleb Jimenez. Solis the sign from Dudley, the pitch, and that pitch upstairs, ball 4. Runners at first and second for your Brush Beet Diggers. They've got a scoring threat here in the bottom of the 2nd. There's no runs in the game, no score. Keaton Jillick comes to the plate. Pitcher of record at this point, and Keaton Gillick has 4 strikeouts on the day, but that pitch inside to Gillick, 5 straight pitches to the Brush Beet Digger batters from Solis that have been out of the strike zone. Runners at first and second, nobody out. Keaton Gillick digs in and fouls that back up and over the screen. Count evens at 1 ball, 1 strike. Runners at first and second for your Brush Beet Diggers here in the bottom of the second. Cloud cover thickening up off to the west towards Fort Morgan. The pitch and a curveball just outside to Keaton Gillick. 2 balls and a strike to Keaton Gillick. Romero at second, Jimenez at first. Jimenez with a good lead at first. The pitch, and that pitch swung at and through by Gillick. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Solis took just a little bit off that pitch. The 2-2 offering and swung at and missed. Gillick out. No, check swing. And they checked with the umpire at second base. Coach Kistler is going to come out and talk to the veteran umpire, Perry Lewis. And Coach Kistler is going to go back to the dugout with no results in that. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Keaton Gillick. Nobody out for your Brush Beet Diggers. Good scoring chance right here. And that pitch, strike 3 on the inside corner of the plate. Chest high, shoulder high, well, strike high, we'll call it that. First out in the inning. 2 runners on, 1 out. Dylan Krob comes to the plate, center fielder for your Brush Beet Diggers. The pitch, and that pitch is upstairs to Dylan, the center fielder. River Hodson on deck, Eli Klein in the hole. Romero with a short lead is Rinkin, the shortstop, is to the bag, and that pitch swung at and missed by Dylan Krob. It was a curveball, off-speed pitch on the inner part of the plate, and Krob just got in over the top of it. And that pitch is fouled back into the screen. Count evens. No, I'm sorry. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I'll get into this whole thing with my phone. We'll see what Brush ends up doing here on this scoring chance. Runner at second scoring position, Romero. Jimenez at first, and that ball hit out to right field, down the line. Kistler back, and it's over his head. It's foul ball, foul ball, foul ball. Perry Lewis looking right straight down the line. That ball just over the outstretched glove of Kistler, the first baseman, as he went back. And it's in that swale. It's probably about 30 feet behind first base that runs across the field here at Sunset Field. The 1-2 pitch, and that pitch swung at and missed. Strike 3 by Dylan Krob. 2 outs in the inning. Runners at first and second. River Hodson comes to the plate. Number 5 on his back, the left fielder for your Brush Beet Diggers. Eli Klein on deck. The pitch from Solis, and that ball hit out to Solis. Takes 3 steps over to first base, Kistler, and 1-3 on the putout. So for your Brush Beet Diggers, no runs, no hits, no errors. 2 runners left on base, no Valley Viking errors. After 2 complete innings of play, Brush Beet Diggers 0, Valley Vikings 0. You're listening to Beet Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Brush Beet Digger Baseball at Sunset Field, Brush, Colorado. It is 4:28, and Keaton Gillick finishes up his warm-up toss. Klein throws down to second base. Number 9, Ivan Saenz, the third baseman, comes to the plate for the Valley Vikings, number 8 hitter in their lineup. I was just telling Christy back at the station as I set up my phone I lost everything from last year, so I had to put in all the Brush Beet Diggers names and numbers. I had to put in all the Valley Vikings names and numbers. And then I had to put in all the parameters, such as 9 innings. First pitch to Signs is a ball. Pitch from Jillick, swung at and missed. Evens account, 1 ball, 1 strike. And so I had to put all that in. I know I put 7 innings because that's high school game, it was regulation. There was other things that I had to put in. And I know swung at and missed by Signs, 1 ball and 2 strikes. So as I stick all this in, it asks coach pitch. So like if you throw 4 pitches, balls, then the coach has to pitch, for like Little League. And it's like, I know I did not do that, but apparently I did. So the 1-2 pitch from Jillick, swung at and missed, strikeout number 5 by Keaton Jillick. Top of the 3rd inning, Jillick has got 7 outs, 5 of them via the strikeout. So Jillick is on the roll. Brody Loveland, left fielder, comes to the plate. Number 7 on his back. Number 1 on his back, the left fielder. Jillick, the pitch. Waist high, outside corner, a strike. Jillick is rocking, 5 strikeouts. Top of the 3rd inning, 1 out. The pitch, and swung at and missed by Brody Loveland. Jillick ahead in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. No score in the game. Brush Beet Diggers, Valley Vikings, longtime opponents. Swung at and missed, strikeout number 6 by Keaton Jillick. 2 outs in the inning. Top of the order, Andrew Rinkin comes to the plate, shortstop. Rinkin swung at all 3 pitches that were offered to him in the top of the 1st inning, fouled off the first 2 and flew out to center fielder. That pitch, high and inside, 1 ball, no strikes. So Rinkin does not swing at everything. 1 ball, no strikes. To the shortstop, Andrew Rinkin. No score today. Jillick, the pitch, swung at and missed. Evens account, 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs, top of the 3rd inning for the Valley Vikings. Klein asking for the pitch upstairs, change the eye level. 2 balls and a strike to Andrew Rinkin. Trent Mestis on deck for the Valley Vikings. 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd, the pitch, and that ball up in the chute and just a little bit out of play for strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Rinkin. Keaton Jillick, 2 balls, 2 strikes, gets a sign from Eli Klein. The offering, and that ball hit towards 3rd base and foul. So with me doing this basically by the seat of my pants, and I don't have, basically all my pitch counts or anything like that today, we'll just have to make it work. Hopefully I'll be able to keep track of everything. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Pitch from Jillick, right down the middle, strike 3. Strikeout number 7 by Keaton Jillick through 3 innings. Brush Beet Digger 0. Coming to the plate in the bottom of the 3rd, Valley Vikings 0. You're listening to Beet Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Cloud cover is thickened up a little bit to the west, and the wind is still out of the south. There's no score in this ball game between the Valley Vikings and your Brush Beet Diggers. Coming to the plate for your Brush Beet Diggers. Top of the lineup should be Percy Odell. Oh, I'm sorry. Eli Klein. It's one of those variances of not having all my ducks in a row here. So Eli Klein comes to the plate to lead off the bottom of the 3rd inning. Valley, 1 runner left on base. Brush Bee Diggers, 2 runners left on base. Anthony Solis on the hill, and that's a first hit for the Brush Bee Diggers. Eli Klein lines a ball between the third baseman and the shortstop out to left field. So Klein on at first, and Malachi Teal comes on to be the courtesy runner for the catcher Eli Klein. So Malachi Teal on at first base. Percy Odell comes to the plate. Anthony Solis on the hill for the Valley Vikings. And that ball hit out towards right field, down the right field line, and tracked down and caught by the right fielder. The right fielder is Dominic Rodriguez. It would have been foul if it would have dropped. But Malachi Teal at first base would have been able to run and run forever if it would have dropped. He probably would have been able to score from first base. Landon Mesh comes to the plate, 1 out. And that ball hit out towards right center field and up and over the center fielder's head. 2 hops to the fence. Teal around second, let Mesh it into second, and Malachi Teal to third base, and a little bit long on his round, coming towards the plate, stops. Coach Odell sends him back to third. The throw comes to the catcher Dudley, and Dudley throws to the third baseman, and they put the tag on, but Teal is safe. So Brush has 1 out on the inning and runners at second and third. So Brush is dealing here. Ben Metlin, the number 3 hitter, comes to the plate for your Brush Bee Diggers. In between innings, Marla Tappy, the athletic director for Brush, she came up to me in order to see what was the radio call letters. It's 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. She was asking for the Valley fans. They're looking for, hey, can we listen to this on the radio? So we welcome the Valley fans. First pitch from Solis to Metlin. Up high, 1 ball, no strikes. There's 1 out in the inning. Brush dealing here in the bottom of the third inning with runners at second and third. Brush with their first and second hits of the season. Pitch to Metlin at the knees, a strike, evens a count at 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. And that pitch back into the screen, 1 ball, 2 strikes, fouled off by Metlin. See if Brush can get their first run in of the season. See if Metlin can get his RBI. Number 1, maybe even number 2. Mesh leads off at second. Teal, the courtesy runner, leads off at third. Pitch fouled at the plate, up and over the screen into the pond area off to the right. Anthony Solis from the stretch, working with his catcher Dudley. 1-2 pitch, and that ball is fouled back and over the screen. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runners at first, at second and third for your Brush Bee Diggers here in the bottom of the third inning. Good crowd today for both teams. People are hungry for baseball, even though basketball season for high school is not even done yet. But strike 3, curveball from Solis. Strikes Metlin out for the second out in this inning. Brings to the plate Trey Romero. Trey Romero reached base via the error in his last at bat, and they're going to do a intentional base on balls to Trey Romero to load the bases. Bringing to the plate Caleb Jimenez. 2 outs in the inning, bases loaded. Romero on at first, Mesh on at second, Teal on at third. Caleb Jimenez the pitch, curveball inside out. Umpire Perry Lewis calls a strike on the inside corner of the plate. No balls and a strike to number 11, the right fielder, Caleb Jimenez, the pitch. And that ball fouled up and over the screen. Up and over the screen. No balls and 2 strikes. Jimenez in a hole, but see if he can make something happen here with the bases loaded in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Solis gets a sign from Dudley, the pitch, and ball at the knees, a little bit low and inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jimenez. See if Jimenez can put bat on ball and make something happen. Make Valley field it or get a clean base hit and clean RBIs. The pitch from Solis, the 1-2, and ball hit out to Solis. He picks it up on 1 hop over to Kistler at first for the out. 1-3 on the put out. So for your Brush Beet Diggers, no runs, 2 hits, 3 runners left, no Valley Viking error. And after 3 complete innings of play, Brush Beet Diggers 0, Valley Vikings 0. You're listening to Beet Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Top of the 4th inning in Brush, Colorado at Sunset Field. Keaton Gillick, 7 strikeouts through 3 innings. Brush left the bases loaded in the bottom of the 3rd, but there's no score between the Valley Vikings and your Brush Beet Diggers. Keaton Gillick, top of the 4th inning, and for the Valley Vikings, number 10, the second baseman, the number 2 hitter, Trent Mestis, comes to the plate. Buildings by Design. First impressions are important. Buildings by Design will make your vision a reality. Visit buildsbydesign.com. Keaton Gillick, the sign from Eli Klein. Pitch. And that ball hit out towards Percy Odell. Fields it over to first base. Romero, 6-3 on the put out for the first out in the inning. Alfonso Medina comes to the plate. Mestis 0 for 2 on the day. Struck out his first time, grounded out to the shortstop. Alfonso Medina struck out his first at bat, and that pitch up in the eyes of Mestis. 1 ball, no strikes to Anthony Mestis, Alfonso Mestis. The pitch, Medina, Alfonso Medina, and that fouled off over to the right side. I got my Mestis Medina signs. I'll get them straight here. The 1-1 upstairs, 2 balls and a strike to Alfonso Medina, the center fielder. Keaton Gillick, 7 strikeouts through the first 11 outs in this ball game. The sign, Klein giving him a little bit upstairs, and that ball hit out to center field. And that ball is corralled by Dylan Krob in center field for the out. It was a line drive, but out number 2 nonetheless. 2 outs in the inning. Anthony Solis, the pitcher, comes to the plate for the Valley Vikings. Looks like Valley does have somebody warming in the bullpen. I did talk to Coach Kistler before the game, asked him how deep he was going to go pitches-wise, and he says, I've got everybody that can throw, and so we'll see what they end up doing. Gillick takes a little bit off on that pitch to Solis. Strike 1. No balls, strike, 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. Pitch fouled and to the right and into the pond area. To the Gillick ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Gillick the sign, the pitch, the 0-2, and that ball fouled back. 4th inning. 7 of the first 12 batters that Gillick has faced. 7 of the first 12 outs that Gillick has had. That's not right. 7 of the first 11, and that pitch in the dirt. 7 of the first 11 outs have been by strikeout. Anthony Solis, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And that ball hit down the right field line, and it's curling foul. Caleb Jimenez chases that down, gets it back into Landon Mesh, second baseman. Gets the ball back to Keaton Gillick, his pitcher. 1 ball, 2 strikes. No score here in the top of the 4th inning. 2 outs in the inning. The 1-2 from Gillick. And that ball hit out to the second baseman and line out to Landon Mesh. After 3.5 innings of play, Valley Vikings 0, your Brush Beet Diggers coming to the plate, and they have 0. You're listening to Beet Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Halfway through, Brush Beet Diggers Baseball versus the Valley Vikings, Keaton Gillick comes to the plate. Gillick is the star on the hill as he has 7 strikeouts through 4 innings. Valley Vikings starter Anthony Solis is still on the hill for the Valley Vikings as we go to the 4th inning. Caleb Dudley, the catcher. For the Valley Vikings, third baseman Ivan Sines, shortstop Andrew Rinkin, Trent Nestus second baseman, and Seth Kistler at first. Left fielder Brody Loveland. Center fielder Alfonso Medina, and right fielder is Dominic Rodriguez. Last warm-up pitch by Solis, throw down by Dudley, and into center field. Keaton Gillick comes to the plate. Bottom of the 4th inning, no score. Solis, the sign from Dudley, the pitch. The pitch is upstairs, ball 1. Gillick struck out his last at bat. The 1-0 to Gillick, and that's fouled back into the screen. Count evens, 1 ball, 1 strike. The offering curveball fouled back into the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2 from Solis, swung at and missed for the first out in the inning. Gillick goes back to the dugout, and Dylan Krob, the center fielder, comes to the plate. No score here in the bottom of the 4th inning between the Valley Vikings and the Brush Beet Diggers. Sunset Field, curveball up. Perry's going to call that a strike. Had a little bit of a bend to it. Must have caught the top of the zone. No balls and a strike to Krob. The pitch and a little bit off. And Solis took a little bit off that pitch, and Krob swings and misses. No balls, 2 strikes. Dudley sets up the pitch, and that pitch is outside. Ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 out for the Brush Beet Diggers here in the bottom of the 4th inning. River Hodson on deck. Eli Klein in the hole, if we get that far. The pitch from Solis, and that ball hit out to center field for a base hit. 1 hop, 2 hops to the center fielder. Dylan Krob on base at first. River Hodson comes to the plate with 1 out. Krob with a 3-step lead, and that pitch, pick off to first, and Krob is able to go to second, and far enough down the line that Krob is able to move all the way to third base. So a 2-base throwing error by the pitcher to the first baseman, Seth Kistler. The ball just got away from him, and it went about halfway down the line, and Krob was able to motor all the way around to third base. No count to River Hodgson, runner at third base. The pitch from Solis, and that ball hit down the right field line, foul. Klein on deck, top of the order, in the hole, Percy Odell. Solis gets a sign from Dudley, the pitch, and that ball hit out to the second baseman. And Krob comes in and scores the Brush Beet Digger. First run of the game, first run of the season. Hodgson out at first, 4-3 on the put out, but the Beet Diggers take the lead. Eli Klein comes to the plate. He had the first hit for the Brush Beet Diggers. Brush has 3 hits on the day. That pitch to Klein a little bit low. No ball, or one ball, no strikes. Pitch from Solis upstairs, 2 balls, no strikes to Eli Klein. Percy Odell, top of the order, on deck. Pitch at the knees, strike. 2 balls and a strike. 2 outs in the inning. Brush with a run in the bottom of the 4th inning. That pitch inside, strike at the letters. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Eli Klein. 2-2 with 2 outs, and that pitch fouled off into the screen. So Brush Beet Diggers have the 1-0 lead over the Valley Vikings. The pitch from Solis and swung at and missed. Catcher picks it up, throws it down to first, so we got the put out from the catcher to the first baseman. So Brush scores 1 run on 1 hit. There was 1 Valley error, and there was nobody left on base, but Brush takes the 1-0 lead. So your Brush Beet Diggers 1, Valley Vikings 0. You're listening to Beet Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Sure. Top of the 5th inning, Brush Beet Diggers with a 1-0 lead over the Valley Vikings. Exciting ball game. Keaton Gillick, 7 strikeouts through 4 innings. Brush was able to score on a hit, an error, and a ground out, and in order to be able to take the 1-0 lead. Seth Kistler comes to the plate, the number 5 hitter for the Valley Vikings. He's the first baseman. The coach's son. I saw Seth this last winter playing basketball for the Valley Vikings. Pitch from Gillick, a strike at the knees. Curveball. Gillick ahead in the count, no balls, 1 strike to number 15, Seth Kistler. Pitch inside. Count evens at 1. Veteran umpire crew today. Perry Lewis behind the plate, Norm Johnson on the bases. It's probably the first ball game for them for this season. Pitch from Gillick. Strike, letter high, outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. High school basketball season still to be completed this weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, various places throughout Colorado. That pitch inside. Count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Kistler. A number of area teams are playing. Ben Blecka outlines those on Preps and More from 1 to 2 on 1010 KSIR. That pitch fouled back and over the screen. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. The wind is blowing straight out to center field. The 2-2 pitch from Gillick, and he took a little bit off, and Kistler reaches, pops it up. Romero comes over, first baseman, squeezes it, and the first out. First out in the 5th inning. Caleb Dudley, the catcher, comes to the plate. Gillick gets a sign from Klein. pitch and swung at and missed by Caleb Dudley. Jillick ahead in the count, no balls and a strike. I'd love to be able to tell you what the pitch count is, but I can't. And that pitch low. Count evens, 1 ball, 1 strike. But so far, Jillick has been efficient with his pitches. He's just give up the 1 base on balls. And that pitch fouled back into the screen, 1 ball, 2 strikes. I'm sure Jillick has been throwing most of the winter. And his arm is in good shape, but yet it's early in the season. You don't want to extend pitchers too far, too early in the season. When you want them to be on the mark towards the end of April, the 1st of May, and you have a chance to be able to go to playoffs, that's when you want to be at your peak. I asked Coach Odell before the game what his plans were. He said, we'll see where we are. But he says, we've got three in the chute, and we'll see what we've got. And that pitch, strike 3, strikeout number 8 by Keaton Jillick. 2 outs in the inning. Carson Adolph comes to the plate, designated hitter. Jillick, the sign from Klein, the pitch, and that was a good thing Carson Adolph ducked. That would have plunked him just on that left shoulder, but he got out of the way. 1 ball, no strikes. Ivan Signs is on deck, the third baseman. Brody Loveland in the hole. The pitch from Jillick, and that pitch is upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes. And just like that, you know, I mean, when you can be going along, pitching great, and all of a sudden your legs go just a little bit, and then your release point is off, and you have 1 pitch at the batter, 1 up above his eyes. The pitch took a little bit off, went back to the basics. 2 balls and a strike to Carson Adolph. 8 strikeouts on the day for Keaton Jillick. Pitch, and that ball sky high. It's going to remain in play. Jillick comes over and makes the out, the 3rd out in the inning. After 4.5 complete innings of play, Brush Beat Diggers 1, Valley Vikings 0. You're listening to Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Brush Beat Digger Baseball with a lead as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Brush scored a run in the bottom of the 4th inning, an unearned run, as there was a 2-base throwing error by the pitcher as he tried to pick Dylan Krob off. And then on the ground out by River Hodson, Krob was able to come in and score. New pitcher for the Valley Vikings. And let's see who we have here. Carson Adolph comes to the hill for the Valley Vikings here in the bottom of the 5th inning. For the Brush Beat Diggers, 1 run on, I'm going to guess, 4 hits. 4 hits. Percy Odell comes to the plate. Carson Adolph doesn't throw quite as hard as Solis. Looks like he has a little bit of a breaking ball as he's completing his warm-up tosses. And Odell comes to the plate for the Brush Beat Diggers as they have a lead in the bottom of the 5th inning. Typical of Brush and Valley, they always play close games. Last year, Brush played Valley, and they had an inning where Valley just couldn't get out, and Valley was able to score, 7, 8, 9 runs, I think, that inning, and then Brush just couldn't catch up. They made a valiant effort in that game. That game was up Gilchrist. And that pitch from Carson Adolph to Percy Odell outside. Ball 1. Adolph the sign from Dudley, the pitch, and that pitch is low. 2 balls, no strikes. To number 2, Percy Odell. The 2-0 offering, strike at the knees. 2 balls and a strike. No outs here in the Bottom of the 5th inning. 2-1 pitch. Strike at the knees. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Percy shaking his head, yes. I agree, that was a strike. He probably feeling like he should have swung the 2-2. And that pitch is outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Percy Odell. The action pitch as Carson Adolph is working quickly. The pitch, and that ball hit out towards third base. 2 hopper to Signs. Signs over to Kistler at first for the out. 5-3 on the put out. Landon Mesh comes to the plate. One out, bottom of the 5th inning. Adolph working quickly. Mesh the pitch. That pitch is outside of the left-handed hitting Landon Mesh. The 1-0. Pitch at the knees on the outside corner to Mesh. Wears number 6 on his back for the Brush Beet Diggers. The 1-1. And Mesh hits that back up and over the screen. If there's a car sitting right there, it's going to get its windshield broke. But the car wasn't sitting there. That's exactly where John Beltran parks his car when he is here. John, do you hear me? The 1-2 to Landon Mesh. And swung at and missed, strike 3. 2 outs for the Beet Diggers here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Ben Metlin comes to the plate. Morgan Community College. Start your associate degree, continue your education, and get a specialized certificate. Visit morgancc.edu.com. Mesh fouls the first pitch, back and over the screen. 0-1 to the third baseman, Ben Metlin. And that ball hit out towards Rinkin, the shortstop. He squeezes it for the third out. No runs, no hits, no errors for your Brush Beet Diggers. No Valley errors. Brush Beet Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Keaton Gillick as we go to the top of the 6th inning. 8 strikeouts on the day. And I'm not sure exactly where the battery ran out. And so anyway, no runs, no hits, no errors for the Brush Beet Diggers, no Valley errors. Nobody left on base. After five complete innings of play, Brush Beet Diggers 1, Valley Vikings 0. The pitch from Gillick to Ivan Signs, the third baseman. Fouled back into the screen. Sidney Regional Medical Center. Don't let an injury keep you out of the game. Learn more about Sidney Regional Medical Center at sydneyrmc.com. And that pitch was a ball. Evens account, 1 ball, 1 strike. Gillick and Klein working quickly the pitch. And that pitch is upstairs. 2 balls and a strike. Keaton Gillick is rocking the day. 8 strikeouts through 5 innings. Pitch from Gillick, inside. 2 balls and a strike. I'm sorry, 3 balls and a strike to Ivan Signs, the third baseman for the Valley Vikings. Leadoff hitter in the top of the 6th. Swung at and missed by Signs. Brings a full count to question. Gillick, the sign, the pitch, the offering, and that ball fouled up and over the screen. Full count to Ivan Signs, the number 8 hitter for the Valley Vikings. Signs digging in, the pitch, and swung at and missed. Strikeout number 9 for Keaton Gillick. First out in the top of the 6th inning. As the Beet Diggers throw the ball around the horn, Ben Metlin at third, Percy Odell at short, Landon Mesh at second, Trey Romero at first. River Hodson in left, Dylan Krob in center, Caleb Jimenez in right. Pitch outside to Brody Loveland,
the left fielder, the number 9 hitter, choking up on the bat. The 1-0, and that pitch is upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes to Brody Loveland. Coach Kistler hasn't had much activity on the bases. And that pitch is inside. 3 balls, no strikes. I think they've only had just the 1 walk. And that was to Seth Kistler in the 2nd inning. The 3-0, pitch a strike right down the middle. 3 balls and a strike. 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning. The 3-1, swung at and missed. Strike 2. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Brody Loveland. Jilick, the sign, the pitch. Strike 3, outside corner of the plate, looking. Jilick with strikeout number 10 for the Brush Beet Diggers. Top of the order comes to the plate. Andrew Rinkin, shortstop for the Valley Vikings. Jilick, Klein working together. The pitch, and that ball hit out to right field to Jimenez. Jimenez squeezes it. The out. And out number 3, no runs, no hits, no Brush errors. Nobody left on base. After 5.5 innings of play, Brush Beet Diggers 1, Valley Vikings 0. You're listening to Beet Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Beautiful day for baseball, March 11th, 2025. For your Brush Beet Diggers, they have a 1-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Trey Romero comes to the plate for the Beet Diggers to lead off. Wind is picking up just a little bit. Basically, it's moving from home plate straight out to center field. So there's just a little bit of a breeze. The flag is holding steady. I mean, it's not standing straight out, but yet it's flapping out there. And boy, if Brush can get some guys on base, I think they could probably steal some bases against this Dudley. Brush has had a couple opportunities. They had runners at first and second and wasn't able to score. They had runners at second and third, and they weren't able to score. They were able to score. Romero comes to the plate. He was intentionally walked his last at bat. Reach base on an error his first at bat. Pitch is outside, 1 ball, no strikes, and that ball hit out a play down the left field line. Romero stands in on the left side of the box. Count evens, 1 ball, 1 strike on that foul. The pitch from Adolph outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. The 2-1 offering. Pitch is low, 3 balls and a strike to the leadoff hitter in the bottom of the 6th inning, Trey Romero. Romero, the first baseman, senior. Pitch. And that pitch is upstairs. Romero's been on base all 3 times today. 1 via the error, 1 via intentional walk, and 1 via the regular walk. I got Malachi Teal coming on to pinch run for Trey Romero. Romero must be coming in as a pitcher, because that's the only way that Malachi could get on base. He's for the courtesy runner. So Malachi Teal, number 3, leads off at first, 3 steps. Carson Adolph. And that pitch is fouled back by Caleb Jimenez for an 0-1 count. Yeah, looks like Trey is running down to the bullpen in order to get loose. Brush Beet Diggers with 1-0 lead, bottom of the 6th inning, 3 outs away from being able to secure the victory. But we'd love to be able to add a run or 2 right here in the 6th. And that ball was fouled back and over the screen by Caleb Jimenez. Keaton Jilick is on deck. Teal leads off at first. 3-step, 4-step lead. Strike 3, Caleb Jimenez. He'll walk back to the dugout and take a seat. Keaton Gillick comes to the plate with 1 out. Bottom of the 6th, Brush Beet Diggers with a 1-0 lead over the Valley Vikings. And Teal back to first on a pickoff by Adolph. Gillick takes a look at Adolph from the stretch, the pitch, and that pitch is upstairs, and the throw down from Dudley to Kistler at first. Just a little bit late. Teal back in at first. Teal with a 3-step lead. Adolph the sign and the offering. And Gillick doesn't offer at the pitch. And it was upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes to Keaton Gillick. 10 strikeouts for Keaton Gillick on the hill today through 6 innings. Excellent effort by number 12, Keaton Gillick. Gillick takes a look at Adolph, his offering, and that pitch is low and inside. That's ball 4. Gillick down to first. Teal over to second. Dylan Krob comes to the plate. B&B Appliance, with over 30 years of experience, B&B Appliance can help match the appliances to your need. Stop by at 502 Ensign Street in Fort Morgan. Coach Kistler comes out to talk to Carson Adolph. Perry Lewis, the umpire, comes over in order to grab a few baseballs. While they meet at the mound, all the infield for the Valley Vikings gather. Perry's going to go out and break up the meeting, and then we'll have Dylan Krob at the plate. Runners at first and second. Teal at second. Gillick at first. 1 out. Dylan Krob comes to the plate. Stubbs Gas and Oil, one-stop shopping does exist. Gas, food, and all your travel accessories. Get off of I-76 at 66A in Wiggins to visit them. The chimichangas at Stubbs are great. The pitch outside to Krob. Rudy's Tires, with several locations across the area, there's always a Rudy's Tires location close by, and they can come to you on the farm. The pitch from Adolph is swung at by Krob for strike 1. Count evens, 1 ball, 1 strike. There's 1 out. Rudy's Tires brings you Eastern Plains Sports Today every weekday on 1010 KSIR. The pitch from Adolph and swung at, fouled at the plate. Krob down on the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Visit rudystires.com for more. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Brush with a 1-0 lead over the Valley Vikings here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Carson Adolph on the hill. Caleb Dudley behind the plate for the Valley Vikings. The 1-2 count, pitch, and that is outside. Evens a count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. There's 1 out. Runners at first and second. Malachi Teal leads off at second. Keaton Gillick leads off at first for the Brush Beet Diggers. The pitch, the 2-2 offering. Swung at and missed. Strike 3. Dylan Krob goes back to the plate. 2 outs. River Hodson comes to the plate. Pitch is outside to Hodson. Hodson's, it wasn't really a sacrifice, but he hit the ball to second base while Krob was on at third, and Krob was able to come in and score. And swung at up in the eyes by Hodson. Evens a count, 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs in the inning. Brush Beet Diggers with a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the 6th inning. Eli Klein is on deck. The pitch from Carson Adolph. And that ball hit out to the shortstop. Takes 1 step to his left. touches the bag for the force out. Brush, no runs, no hits, no errors by Valley, and there were 2 runners left on base. Brush Beet Diggers with a lead, 1-0 over the Valley Vikings as we go to the top of the 7th inning. You're listening to Beet Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Brush Beet Digger Baseball, we go to the top of the 7th inning with Brush with a 1-0 lead over the Valley Vikings. Pitching change. Trey Romero comes to the mound, throws from the left side. Keaton Gillick goes over to first base. So Brush just needing 3 outs for the victory as he completes his warm-up toss. So this pitching change is brought to you by Bank of Colorado. They believe in keeping things simple. Apply for a loan you need for your dream home fully online. Visit bankofcolorado.com for all your information today. Trey Romero gets a sign from Eli Klein. Number 2 hitter in the lineup, Trent Mestis, the second baseman, takes that pitch for a ball outside. Pitch from Romero, a strike, evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Gillick at first base, 6 innings pitched today, 10 strikeouts by Keaton Gillick. Did not give up a hit. Swung at the offering of Romero. Mestis did. Swung through the pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Romero, the sign from Klein, the pitch, and that one fouled off to the pond to the right. Game time temperature was 69 at 68 degrees right now. Romero, the sign, the 1-2 pitch, and that pitch is upstairs, 2 balls, 2 strikes. To the leadoff hitter here in the top of the 7th inning for the Valley Vikings, Trent Mestis. And that pitch is in the dirt. Brings the count to full. Trey Romero, lanky pitcher, over 6 foot. I like the motion coming out of his hand, arm. That ball fouled into the screen. Count remains 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Brush Beet Diggers with a 1-0 lead over the Valley Vikings. League game right out of the chute, the 3-2. And that ball hit out to center field. Krob comes in about 4 steps, squeezes the ball for the first out in the top of the 7th inning. 2 outs to go for your Brush Beet Diggers to secure a victory. Alfonso Medina, the center fielder, comes to the plate. Wears number 4 on his back. Pitch, curveball by Trey Romero, upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. Pitch from Romero, strike outside corner. Count evens at 1. One ball, 1 strike. The pitch, check swing, strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Check swing. The umpire checked with first base umpire Norm Johnson, and he gave him the strike sign. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch, curveball, outside corner, and tag out as the ball was in the dirt. Eli Klein picks it up and tags Medina out at the plate for the 2nd out. That's strikeout number 11 by the Brush Beet Digger pitchers today against the Valley Vikings. Number 21, Anthony Solis, comes to the plate. Starting pitcher for the Valley Vikings, pitcher of record. Pitch upstairs to Solis. Seth Kistler on deck for the Vikings. Romero, the 1-0 pitch. Outside, 2 balls, no strikes. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning. Brush Bee Digger needing 1 out in order to be able to secure victory. Start the season 1-0. Pitch from Romero at the knees, swung at and missed. 2 balls and a strike. The 2-1, swung at and missed by Solis. Count evens at 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs. Brush Bee Diggers with a 1-0 lead. About to become a 1-0 victory as that pitch is just outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Couldn't have missed by much. The 3-2 pitch, and that ball hit out to left center field and over the head. 1 hop to the fence. Medina around, Solis around first to second for a double. That's the first hit on the day for the Valley Vikings. Seth Kistler comes to the plate. So Solis on at second. Kistler at first. Kistler at the plate. Pitch outside to Kistler. The 1-0 count. 2 outs. Brush 1 out away from victory. And that ball's fouled back and up and over the screen. Count evens, 1 ball, 1 strike. Bee Diggers 1 out away from victory, but yet Kistler at the plate with 1 swing could change the outcome of this game rather quickly. The 1-1 pitch, the offering at the knees, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs. Romero gets a sign, the pitch, and that pitch is outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bailey Mechanical, getting your house the right temperature is difficult. Call 970-522-0471 and let Bailey Mechanical go to work for you. The 2-2, and that pitch swung on and missed. Brush Baseball with a victory today, 1-0 over the Valley Vikings. Wow. So no runs, 1 hit. There were no brush errors and 1 runner left on base. Brush Bee Diggers take the victory, 1-0. We'll take a short break and then we'll be back. But you're listening to Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Brush Bee Diggers secure a 1-0 victory over the Valley Vikings. First game for both teams. Brush with a 1-0 record. Valley drops to 0-1. The postgame show brought to you by Advanced Agri-Solutions. Water is key to your crop success. Advanced Agri-Solutions has year-round and seasonal probes that will help make sure you have the right amount of water. Call Roxy McCormick at 970-571-2024. For the Brush Bee Diggers Player of the Game, brought to you by Premier Farm Credit. For over 100 years, they've been providing affordable, reliable, and consistent credit. Visit premieraca.com. Brush Bee Diggers secure the victory. They were able to score in the bottom of the 4th inning. Dylan Krob had the single. There was a pickoff attempt at first base. Dylan Krob was able to move up to third base. River Hodson comes to the plate, and River Hodson grounded out to first. They threw from first base, or from second base to first base, and Dylan Krob was able to come in and score the game's lone run. The player of the game is Keaton Gillick. He pitched 6 innings, no runs, and struck out 10 on the day. Outstanding effort in the first game of the season by Keaton Gillick. And so for your Brush Beet Diggers, and I'm just going by just a guess because my phone failed me here today, but I'm going to say Brush, 1 run on 5 hits. And let's see, Brush did not have any errors. And let's see, they had 2, 2, 2, 1, 7 runners left on base. Valley, no runs on 1 hit. They had a hit off of Trey Romero in the 7th inning. So no runs on 1 hit, and there were 2 Valley errors. And let's see, I think they had 3 runners left on base for the day. So Brush Beet Diggers secure the victory. Their next game is next Tuesday, as the game this Saturday against Highland Alt, up at Highland Alt, has been postponed at this point in time. Highland Alt is still playing basketball, and most of their guys are on the basketball team. They play on Thursday against Strasburg at Denver University. So that game against Highland has been moved. The next game for the Brush Beet Diggers is here at home on the 18th. They play Prospect Ridge, and that's next Tuesday. Next Thursday they play at Bennett, and then Brush goes to Runyon Field in Pueblo on the 22nd, and they play Alamosa and another team to be announced. The next game that we'll have on the radio is going to be on March 27th up at Loveland. It's here in Brush against Res Christian. The 27th is here in Brush. The 27th, that'll be the next radio game, as it's a league game. So the Brush Beet Diggers start the season 1-0 is their record. Valley drops to 0-1. Brush Beet Diggers secure the victory today, 1-0 over the Valley Vikings. Sarah Boone Farm Bureau. Sarah Boone with the Farm Bureau Insurance here to help. You deserve more. You deserve a promise. Contact Sarah Boone. Post-game show brought to you by Advanced Agri Solutions. Call Roxy if you need more information, 970-571-2024. Brush Beet Diggers with a 1-0 victory over Valley Vikings. Brush, 1 run, 5 hits. Valley, no runs, 1 hit. You've been listening to Brush Beet Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.